Which training split should I do? I have seen this exact question in my emails so many times that it's literally impossible for me to answer anymore. So if you want to find out the best training split for your exact situation, this is the video for you. I will simply explain everything that you need to know, and at the end of the video I have a surprise for you that will make finding the best training split for you even easier. The main thing you need to focus on is the number of days you want to work out per week. That is one of the main factors when it comes to finding the best training split for you. But before you make that decision, you need to know that to get the best results, you should train each body part twice per week. Keep this in mind as we move along, because it will be very relevant. Before we get into the best options for each day variation, let's quickly go over the pros and cons for each of the training splits. The first one is push-pull legs. This is a great split because it gives you the ability to focus on just one type of movement pattern in each workout. So you are either only pushing, only pulling, or only training legs, which allows each body part to recover very well between each workout. The biggest con of this split, which you will also see a little later, is that it really needs you to go to the gym at least 5 or in the best case 6 times per week to get the absolute most out of it. Then we have the full body split. The biggest pro is for sure the amount of flexibility you get. Because you are always training your entire body, you can easily move your workout days around and there will not be any overlap issues whatsoever. And as you will see in a second, the full body split especially shines if you want to work out just a couple times per week. The thing that some people might find off-putting about the full body split is the lack of specificity. Because unlike the push-pull legs for example, where you always get to focus on one specific movement pattern, in the full body split you pretty much train everything at once every single time. The only way you can create some type of specificity in your full body workouts is by paying attention to the order of your exercises. Meaning the body parts you really care about and want to improve should be towards the start of the workout and not the end. Now let's talk about the upper-lower split. This is probably the easiest split to understand right from the get-go. You know, it's in the name. And as you will see later, there are variations that are absolutely perfect for the upper-lower split. The problem with it is that the upper days can get a little longer than the lower body days, so there is a little bit of a time imbalance. But as you will also see later, this can also be solved. And lastly, we have the Arnold split. The biggest pro of this split is that you don't have to train chest and shoulders on the same day. So if your chest or shoulders are lacking, this could be what changes everything. Realistically, the only con of this split is that it requires you to go to the gym more times per week. But you will see that in a second. Alright, now let's talk about all the day variations starting from 2 all the way to 6 days per week. So the first option is going to the gym 2 times per week. This is realistically the least amount of days that you can utilize to still grow and not just maintain. With this variation, there is obviously not many options. Because we want to work out just 2 days per week and hit all the body parts 2 times a week, then the answer is of course doing the full body training plan. The Arnold and the push-pull legs are out of the question right away, as they consist of 3 different workouts, which you can't really fit into 2 days. The upper-lower could be an option by just skipping legs and doing 2 upper body days, or doing 1 upper and 1 lower, but then you are not really hitting that 2 times per week quota. So it is possible, but the best option for training only 2 times per week is definitely full body. And yes, the individual workouts might be a little longer. After all, you are trying to sandwich the whole week into just 2 workouts. But it's definitely a good option for people who don't have the luxury of going to the gym more than twice a week. Now let's move on to 3 workouts per week. Here it starts to open up a little more, as in those 3 days you can fit one whole cycle of push-pull legs or the Arnold split. Plus of course you could also fit in the upper-lower split in a configuration of 2 upper body days and 1 lower body day. But as you start to notice, not all of these options fit the criteria of hitting each body part twice per week. To be specific, the push-pull legs and the Arnold split are not the best fit for working out just 3 days per week. It's possible, but there are definitely better options. The 2 better options are full body and upper-lower. With full body, you obviously got 3 workouts where you get to hit basically every single body part, so there will be no trouble hitting the 2 times per week quota. And as I mentioned with upper-lower, you get 2 upper body days and 1 lower body day. So your upper body will be covered, and even though you get to hit your legs just once per week, that will most likely be fine for most individuals. Unless you are really struggling with your leg size, you don't necessarily need to train your legs twice per week. I know that you don't like to train legs at all anyway, so it should be fine. Now let's move to 4 days per week. Here it starts to get really interesting. First, let's get the full body out of the way, because as you could notice, full body is a great option for basically any day variation. So if you enjoy this style of training, you definitely can't go wrong with it. Now for the star of the 4 day per week training, which is the upper-lower split. I'm referring to it as a star because this is the most classic 4-day setup, as it fits absolutely perfectly. You get 2 upper body and 2 lower body days per week, which hits the 2 times per week quota perfectly for all of your body parts. So if you are set on training exactly 4 times per week, the upper-lower split is one of the best, if not the single best option here. When it comes to the Arnold and the push-pull leg split, it's a little awkward if you want to fit them into a 4-day per week schedule. It's doable, but the full body and the upper lower are definitely better options if you want to work out 4 days per week. Now let's take a look at the 5-day per week options. As per usual, full body is a good option, but as we finally got to 5 days per week, this is where the Arnold and the push-pull leg split start to shine more. There is a lot of fun setups that you can create, but the 5-day variations in particular are great for really emphasizing your upper body while still keeping your legs in the game. So these 2 splits are a great choice if you want to work out 5 days per week. The only split we still didn't talk about for the 5-day variation is upper-lower. If you wanna do the upper-lower 5 times a week, it opens up the possibility to have 3 upper body days, which is definitely interesting, because one of the cons of the upper-lower split is that the upper days are a little longer than the lower body days. So by having 3 upper body days instead of just 2, you can spread out the exercises a little better and end up with shorter workouts as a result. But yeah, you have to go to the gym one more time, that's the trade-off. And now finally, 6 days per week. As per usual, full body can be an option, but the best options here are definitely push-pull legs and the Arnold split. Because they each consist of 3 different workout days, running them 2 times per week turns into the perfect 6-day per week split. And I know that a ton of people are fans of this setup, because the workouts are really short and it feels really enjoyable. The only con is that you have to go to the gym 6 times per week, and for some people the most time consuming part of going to the gym is actually the way there. And lastly, the upper-lower. Running it in a 6-day variation can be an option, but when you spread it out so thin, your leg days might end up being so short that it might feel like it's not even worth going to the gym for such an insanely short workout. So it would definitely feel so much more efficient if you instead went with the 5-day or the mythical 4-day version. And that's how you decide what training plan you should go with. And don't think that I forgot about the present I promised you at the start. Recently I created a quiz on my website that if you fill in, it will tell you exactly what's the best training, nutrition and cardio option for you. And that's completely free, you don't even have to give me your email or anything like that. So if you are still a little unsure of which training plan would be the best fit for you, click the link in the pinned comment or simply go to my website and you will see it. You will be able to put in all the important details that will guarantee that you get the best plan for your exact situation. So I will see you on the quiz. Thanks for watching and I will see you next time. If you thought this video was good, then this one is even better.